Is the set? What's the sound like? Can anybody tell me? I'm just trying to figure out how to rotate the orientation of the live. I can't. So that is what we've got at the minute. I'll have to figure out how to do that at a later date. So what's the sound like? Right, and so all I'm going to be doing today is a bit of a trim, glass wipe, water change, and then I'll dose the aquarium with the plant ferts again. What I'll do is, in the meantime, if there's any questions, I should try and keep up with what's being said. It's not going to be easy because I'm going to have my back to the camera quite a bit whilst I do this maintenance session. So the first thing is I received a parcel through the post the other day whilst I was at work, and here it is, and that contains 2 Habby Stacks, which Mr. Habby Stacks himself, Dave, has kindly sent me so I could do a couple of scapes with them and hopefully make them disappear. So I'm looking forward to that. Move that out of the way. Let's see, get a better picture. Maybe not. Let's have a look. So, see if we can. Oh, Lion King's on it, other room for the dogs to keep them quiet. I'll shut that. I'll zoom out if it'll allow me a little bit, and then when I go in I'll probably move the camera forward, show you where I am going to be trimming and stuff like that. I've got my coffee. The first thing that I do, I switch the UV filters and CO2 off before I start any maintenance. I'll just turn the inlet and outlet of the filters off and then knock the power off, and that should also quieten everything down a little bit. Because the water level's a little bit low for the time being. Is the sound quality okay? Because I don't know personally. Can you tell me whether the sound quality, turn it up and tell me, just comment, see whether sound quality is okay. Yeah, I'm just waiting on confirmation that sound quality is okay. So, like I say, I've switched the filters off, the UV's off, and the CO2 is now off. And now the fish are waiting. The first thing that I'm going to do is just to wipe all the glass down, the sides and the front. I tend to start at the front, might be a little bit squeaky. I can feel that. I can feel algae on the glass with my thumb. So I'll just check the comments, make sure that, see if sound is okay. Okay, so hopefully that's better than what it has been recently. So if you do ask questions, I will come back to the screen every now and again. Oh, there's some baby blue shrimp in here. That's good. Good to see. Let's move a rock out of the way so I can. I do sometimes use a blade on the glass, but it doesn't need it this time round. There's some tougher algae on this bit of the glass on the sides, because I don't always do the side of the glass. I tend to leave some on there, so if anything wants to eat it, they can. These sponges are really good. This one's a superfish sponge. Bob on for what I do. So now that's that done, I'm just going to get my tool bag. And I'm probably going to need a larger jug as well. Just to put some cuttings and stuff in. And I've just knocked bit of moss off. I'm just going to put a little bit of gel super glue on the bottom of it. So this is gel super glue, cyanoacrylate, and I'm just going to blob a little bit on there, put the cap back on, and then I can put that straight into the water and push that onto the bit of hardscape that I want it attached to, and that will stay where it is. So hopefully you saw that. If not, there'll be other opportunities. Now there's a few floaty bits that I want to take out. I'll just use my tweezers, lift that out. Like I say, there's a few bits and bobs that need trimming, and this isn't very good. I've picked my wrong jug up. I've usually got one that's got like a hook handle rather than a hole handle. So I can hang that onto the side of the aquarium. This hasn't been done for 7 days, this aquarium, and I can tell as well. A little bit of tannins from the wood. And the growth has gone wild as well. I'm probably not going to touch the moss this time round because I want to use it in another scape, so I'm going to let that grow out a little bit more before I trim that. But there are some stem plants that need trimming, which I shall be replanting into the substrate of this aquarium itself. That should be back on now, hopefully. Right. It's okay then. It's a bonus. I don't think there are any other comments. This is the a bit tedious, this bit. Pulling some of this excess growth off. Can't remember the name of this, but it's really invasive. It's a proper weed. It's like a moss, but it's not at the same time. It's dead brittle as well, so it breaks off and spreads. I'll get a little bit more out, and then I'll start having a look at which stems I need to be trimming. Warn them. The dog just come downstairs because she's scared of the Hoover. And the wife hoovered up just before I came online. So I've got a flower. I'll show you all a little bit later. That's that bit. Let's have a quick slurp of my cup of tea. Check the comments. So thank you for watching. Again, as the title suggests, I am just going to be doing a bit of maintenance on this. So I've got my tool bag with all my bits and bobs in. I say that, but I can't see my scissors. So I'll use my other scissors. And first of all, just on this right hand side, I just want to trim some of this back. This will be getting planted straight back into the substrate. And all I'm going to do is with the stems in the middle, I shall just follow the shape of the two islands. So just bring this down a bit more. And I want this quite short, this bit. There's a few leaves that are past the best. And some of the other plants I shall trim them off. Get the 2 ram's horns off. 3 ram's horns. And get rid of that leaf into the jug. And then there's just some of this these stem plants around here that are just reaching to the surface a bit. I'm just going to trim back a little bit. What the colours of them are fantastic. I'll get a little bit out shortly and show you. While doing this, it'll thicken up and I'll get a bigger, redder background as it all grows back in. I'll just check the comments again. Sound still on? I think maybe I probably pressed the button when I was leaning on the aquarium. You can really see how red them plants, maybe not, probably better over here. Really see how red they are, especially against the greens. So we'll plant them back in shortly. So I want a thicker red wall towards the back of the islands. We've got these here as well. More leaflet. I've had nearly all a new boost flowering. You can see some new buds on some of it now. Right, there was a leaf on the lotus that I wanted to get rid of because it's damaged. It's not going to be able to repair itself, so I'll get rid of that. Chop that away. Now I can't see anything else that really is desperate of getting rid of at the moment. I want to see it fill out a bit more. There's loads of new leaves on this Anubias. Bear in mind I am running CO2 and fertin with the Aquascape stuff. So what I do now, I have a pump and I tend to pump the water out rather than siphon on most water changes, and then occasionally I'll do an area with the siphon. So just a garden hose with a E-iron pump fitted. And then plug it in and start draining. And then once it's drained a little bit, to make it a little bit easier for me to plant, the stems that I've just cut off. Oops. That sounds like somebody's going to the toilet. All I'm doing is replanting the heads of the plants that I've just cut off, really. And just give it a thicker look and help the aquarium look a lot older sooner. I'm going to chuck some of this right down here. Unfortunately, I just found a pygmy coral caught in the filter. First one. And I've noticed when I've counted them, they're quite hard to keep on top of, counting wise. 24 of them, because they do move around independently rather than in a big shoal a lot of the time. Whilst it's draining as well, I will give a bit of a gentle waft to some of the plants just to get some of the fish poop out from underneath and stuff. And the pump will drag some of that out, and then filters will drag other stuff that's suspended in the water column. If I step back, I'll just push you a little bit closer to the aquarium. I am at the screen now if anybody wants to write anything. Is the sound still okay? Hi Chris. Gives me a chance to finish my brew whilst I read the comments. Now this will be a fairly large water change. What I haven't got on me is my toothbrush. I must have left that in the studio. Brought my tool bag up without the tools in it that I need. So I'll not be cleaning the silicone on the sides this time round. That can wait till next week or the end of the week. So this aquarium is running 2 Aquascape Biomasters thermos, so the heaters are built in. I've got a UV system, got CO2, JBL LED solar lighting, and it's the Aqua One 1200 scaper. Now these will want a little bit of food when I've finished the water change. I'm not too echoey, am I? One thing I am conscious of, because I can't hear myself, obviously. So the sound must be okay. Nobody's commenting. Either that or you can't hear me at all, which some would say is a bonus. So that's the main wipe. That's the main wipe and trim of what the plants that I wanted to trim today. What I should do: drain, refill, use my fertilizers, and show you what I dose in this aquarium. The fish, cheers Connor. Yeah, and you. So I've not told anybody on here because I've not done a video yet. So yeah, I paid a visit to a different store today, and there'll be a little video coming out on YouTube in the coming days, hopefully. And then those that have just joined as well, I received a parcel in the post whilst I was at work over the last few days, and Mr. Abbey Stacks, Dave, has kindly sent me 2 Abbey Stacks out for me to aquascape and make disappear. So I'm looking forward to that. I think I'm going to be doing 1 in a paludarium and 1 in a normal aquarium. I've got a tall tank that I'm going to use 1 in, and that I'm thinking probably a male better, or maybe half a dozen females. I'm not quite sure yet. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to doing a paludarium with them. I'll be able to do something different, because at the moment I'm building with foam and stuff like that and cork bark on the sides and creating pockets for plants. But then you lose a different dimension to some degree if you haven't got with the plants, that is. It's all well and good building the hardscape out, but you can't grow different plants in them areas, if you know what I mean. So I know what I mean. I've got a vision in my head of what I want to create, so I'm sure I'll be able to do something along them lines soon. I just need plants, and more plants, because I've got another few aquariums to scape as well, where I'm going to be using some of the plants that I grow in my other aquariums, but I will need others as well. No plants today. No plants today. I kept my hand in my pocket today. I was going to, but thought I'd wait because I wanted to get the maintenance done, and because the studio's in the stage of transformation at the moment, with new racking, and I've got to pipe Wi-Fi down to there. Once that's done, hopefully in the next few days, I can then start filming down there, doing a bit of a tour around the studio and stuff like that. I know I could pre-record one, which I'll probably do for YouTube, but I should probably go on live on other platforms, just so other people can interact whilst I'm doing live, because I've got all sorts down there, from paludariums, half and halves, black water, epiphyte only aquariums, planted aquariums. So yeah, there's a few things down there that I'm looking forward to show off. Some of the things have only been published once, and they haven't been shown since, so I'm looking forward to being able to show them again. Right. So yeah, there's plenty of things coming, and there's lots of plans, so it's going to be an interesting last part of the year and part of the new year, especially if what has been being discussed recently with certain firms and stuff comes to fruition, and that'll enable me to do a lot more content and not worry about being able to keep up with content in regards to paying for it and stuff like that. So whilst I will try and do as much as I can with the budget that I've got, every little bit's going to help if I can get any sponsorship from any of the companies that have spoken to me recently. Obviously, I'm not going to name any of them online, but just in case it don't come to fruition. So yeah, this is a bit boring at the minute, because I'm not going to be doing anything really until I start filling, and then I'm going to show you a flower that has come out in the last couple of days, and I still cannot remember for the life of me what plant it is, and I've not got my books. I've lent it to somebody. It's this plant here, which is a bulb plant. It's got holes in it, looks like fishnet stockings, and I just cannot remember the name of it. I'm sure somebody can. and I've not got the ability to be Googling it at the moment. So if you know, just by that description, I'll show you a flower. Yes, absolutely. The moss has started to really take off in the aquarium now. So the next maintenance session will be a bit of a moss trim, because I'm going to be using that in another scape that I'm going to be doing. When I do close-ups, there's loads of flowers on the booths. And I've had no end already flowering, and the flowers are already broken off, died off. Still some that are dying off, but there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 buds that I can see now. That'll probably open it over these next 7 days. I've not seen any on the Anubias just yet, but it's time for that. But they're throwing loads of new leaves out at the moment. Possibly, it rings a bell. Let's see if I can get a closer view for you. So, and that is the flower that's surfaced. Which is pretty cool. Hopefully that's in focus. That is just floating on the surface of the water. And then there's loads of buds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 there. One that's already flowered. There's some more over here. But they do flower when they get really, when you've got them close to the light. And they grow fast. There's loads on there. Look at all the new leaves. The paler leaves are the newer leaves. There's loads of them. Look. So I'm really happy. You see that one that's coming. It's still curled up. So yeah, I'm really pleased that that's flowering. The scape itself is only 67 days old. You can see already the coverage on the bottom of the aquarium that I'm getting, to the point where I am going to have to start intervening with that. I think just make sure that it's not going to start growing too tall. Another inch, which will be probably just over 50% because of all the hardscape on the lower level. And like I say, we can start topping back up, which I use a tap to bucket to tank via a pump, and I treat the water in the bucket as it's going into the aquarium. It's the best solution I've got in the house. The way that I do it in the studio is I've got a water butt which I fill, treat, heat it to temperature, because I've only got cold water tap down there. And then top the aquariums up. I've usually got a full vat of 100 litre before I start doing any water changes, and I'll do 25% on 3 or 4 of the 90 litres, top it back up, and then do some of the other aquariums on another day. I've been live 47 minutes already. Wow, that's flown by. The filters aren't being done today because the pre-filters were done last week. So if you're not familiar with the Aquascape Biomasters, they've got a pre-filter which comes in like a cylinder, and it's got numerous sponges, and you can alter the coarseness of that sponge if you want to. In fact, I've replaced one of them with filter floss to try and drag a little bit more, polish the water a bit better. They've also got the filters in the heater. No, they've got the heaters in the filters. Even the CO2 that I'm running is from a bottle using the JBL solenoid system, and I also run it on a inline diffuser, so that's pumped in line with the outlet or inlet to the tank and mixed that way into the water column, rather than having a diffuser in the aquarium. The only pipe work I've got in there is stainless steel, which I tend to find better than glass because it doesn't seem to grime up as much. I don't know what everybody else's thoughts on that is, whether they prefer glass and the standard plastic stuff that you get with the aquariums, or the stainless steel. I suppose it's just personal choice, isn't it, on how you envisage your tank to look. But I don't think the stainless steel in this aquarium overpowers it at all, or looks out of place too much. So that's enough water drained. Now I've got my bucket here somewhere. I should take that. Oh, excuse me. I just need my extension. Yeah, and then when you're removing the glass to clean it, it tends to break fairly easily as well, especially when you're as clumsy as me. So this is where I just need to move the pipe over. And just check the temperature of the water. Bear with me 1 minute. Let's make sure this is right. Right, whilst the bucket's filling a little bit, I dare say it's got a little bit noisier in here because of that. But the liquid that I use to make the water safe is the Aquadip H2O maker. Removes everything, your chlorine, chloramine, copper, lead, zinc, heavy metals, stuff like that. And it's safe for shrimp, other crustaceans and plants. And for every 50 litre, I'll use 10 ml of this. I'm doing about 200 litre approximately. So what's that? 40 ml. Water's at right temperature now. The H2O maker is in the bucket. So this is where I can start. Pump back in. So yeah, you look at glass with your pints the wrong way. yeah, definitely. I'll just move the shot a little bit closer now. I'm not going to be getting in front too much. Like I say, I'll do it once it's filled. I should do a little bit of a closer look. I've said I'm not going to get in way too much. I am just going to duck down here and get two other products that I use. So I do use the Aquadip liquid carbon. I know there's no real such thing as liquid carbon or liquid CO2, but liquid carbon I use, and that is 2 ml for every 100 litre. So I'll put 4 squirts of this in because each squirt is 2 ml, but it does also say to up the dosage if it's a heavily planted aquarium. So I'll do that, give it a quick shake, and then 4 squirts of that. And then also I use the Aquadip plant food, and that is again 10 ml per 100 litre. So this is its weekly dose. So I'll put 15 squirts of this in. It's approximately a 300 litre aquarium. So I'll do that twice a week as well. but I'm not religious with it twice a week. But I am religious with my water changes, in the fact that they'll be every 4 to 7 days on this aquarium. So the rock I've used is just pebbles, or big pebbles, various different colours, shapes, sizes, stuff I've picked up over the years, and a couple of new bits as well I picked up. There's 3 or 4 varieties of wood in there as well. And I don't think it really shows. But again, a lot of that wood was in the previous scape that was in this aquarium. I've just used it differently. Previously in this aquarium, I had used black lava rock. Well, this one, I wanted something a little bit different. There's pea gravel as well in there, which got, again, various different colours. And then a sand. Tell you what I am going to do whilst it's still filling, and just put my little scraper, if I've got it up here, because it looks like I've not got anything up here. I've left it all. Oh no, I have got it in. I'm just going to put my little scraper down in the worst bits where the sand is on the glass and it's just a little bit green. Just turn that over a little bit. So what I'm doing, trying not to scratch the glass, is going down and then just moving it backwards slightly. So I'm not scraping back up. You might see it a little bit better there. Yeah, I'm just pushing it down and then moving it backwards, trying not to scrape the glass too much. No, this is a few years old, this aquarium, because it was second hand when I got it, and that was, well, over 2 years now. And again, that just looks a little bit neater at the front of the aquarium. I'm just checking my bucket. See, I've got a thermostat on the tap, but I still like to keep an eye on the temperature. Has anybody else got any questions, or have you got any more questions, Connor? Again, just jump in comments, don't be shy. There's no stupid questions. And what I shall do probably right now is just zoom in on the fish a little bit more towards the middle of the scape, an angle that I like to look at it from. That might be a little bit better for everybody. Yeah, hopefully I'll be able to get all the major works done down the bottom, and then you'll be more than welcome to come round, pal. Do a little video or something. Sure, we'll figure something out. I mean, I don't expect the fish room to be perfect when everybody comes round, but I would like it to be in some kind of order and tidy. Escape off. You can supply all hardscape and plants. I'm sure we can do something. I've got a bit of stock of rock, spiderwood. What I need to order a load of honeycomb, because that's a wood that I want to do escape with at home. So I've only ever done escapes with them at Pro Shrimp, Berkeley Aquatics, and at the Aqua Show, Gwyneth Aquatics. Yeah, I've got Dragonstone. I think the Dragonstone nearly takes up a full shelf. I've got Black Lava Rock, I've got Scaper's Rock, and I've got, what else have I got? Pebbles. I've got more pebbles. More pebbles. Yeah, I've only got spiderwood and a little bit of bogwood, but only small pieces, little bits. So I do need to stock up on different types of wood. What I might, no, I'll leave it on, because I'm not going to be able to see anything anyway. I'll leave it like this because I can see comments this way. And I'll just drop the camera down a level so it's more in line. Oh. There we go. And I can alter that as the water goes up. Yeah, I've got, because I mix my substrates, so I don't just use aqua soil. I do mix my substrate. I'll be able to show you that mix when you come up. It's a little bit like MD does it. In fact, it's a lot like our MD does it. So it's no big secret. It's just finding what works for yourself. So I've got Tropica soil, got pond soil, I've got Nutribase, and then just bits and bobs of stuff that I've got left over that I'll mix in with different scapes, and it seems to do all right for the plants that grow well in my water. And obviously that's a big thing. Look at the Agassiz. He's beautiful. You've got a nice little group of pygmies. 5 pygmies just swam past. I don't think any of the rainbows will swim past. Oh, top the water up. Good evening. News coming into the live as I'm not finished wrapping up or anything, but I'm just topping the aquarium back up now. What I do have in one of the Aquascape filters, again, that was second to hand, and they'd adapted it because they wanted more flow. I don't particularly like too much flow in scapes like this. And what it does do is, because of I've got skimmers on the outlet pipes, the bigger Aquascape, which has been adapted, has got a little bit too much suction for the outlet, so I stick a little bit of filter floss in there, and that drags a load of rubbish out as well. So I shall replace that, and that should be good to go anyway. So with the filter floss, I don't tend to wash it out too much. I just replace it. And whilst it looks unsightly, when it comes to taking pictures and stuff like that, you might see it occasionally, but sometimes I'll take it out when I've switched the filters and stuff off so that it can't be seen. But I'm not too fussed about that as long as the water's good. And that was a group of 10 pygmies that just swam by. And I shall give you another close up of that flower once it's all filled up, because it's really, if I can get a good picture of it, it's really detailed. It's probably similar to how an Anubias or a boost flower would look out of the water, to be fair. Now with some of the boosts, that it is just below the surface, so I'm hoping when that flowers, it flowers out of water, which will be interesting to see how different it is compared to flowering in water. I don't think I've ever seen it in person. I love that mirror effect you get on the top of the water when you're filming or taking pictures. So on this aquarium, whether I'm doing filters or I'm trimming or just doing a water change, it generally takes me about 2 hours. But it's a nice relaxing time for me. And that's one of the reasons why I enjoy the aquascape side of things. Just helps you relax, chill out, especially after doing 12-hour shifts. Yeah, apparently I can rotate the camera and I can have it landscape. So the next time I do it, I'm going to have a look into how I'm setting up the live and how I'm doing the camera, and see if I can figure it out. Unless somebody knows how to do it and can tell me what option I need to be pressing, because I can't do it whilst I'm live. I can only flip from camera to camera, unless. Now let's switch the camera off. That's to flip it, or is it? What have I just done there? I don't know. Yeah, so that's to flip it. Yeah, other than that, there's no other options on the live page to be able to rotate the camera. So flip, mute, hide, retouch, create highlight, green screen now, lighting. I don't think we need the lighting on, do we? And close, and that's it on the actual live screen. So it must be something I have to select before I come online. So we've got maybe 6 or 8 inch left to top up. Yeah, but it's quite poor because it were all by hand, and obviously didn't have my other camera or tripod with me. I know the sound's not going to be great because I don't talk loud anyway. I'm not having my microphones with me. And great bit of kit, by the way. So what time are we on now? Yeah, 8:15. So these lights, they ramp up from 2 o'clock for half hour, 45 minutes. And then from 9 o'clock, they slowly dim down to nothing at 10 o'clock. So the lights are on for 8 hours. But they're not at full spectrum for 8 hours. They're probably only on 100% intensity for maybe 2 or 3 hours of the day. All right. Well, I'll have a look tomorrow and try and start editing something. and clipping out all my urns. Look at one of Farewellas has just been pushed off a branch by another Farewella. I like it on that branch. The one that's going right across the path, I think you can probably just see the fish on it. They always seem to settle on that one. Got a bit of maintenance to do in the fish house, a bit of moving around again, and then I shall be doing some editing. Touch wood, anyway. There'll be a nice group of pygmies swimming by shortly. It's coming to shot now and deciding to turn back. Oh, and there's some of the rainbows. I think they're the females looking at them with the bright green eyes. Yeah, they're the females. The males have got longer, darker fins on them. Dorsal and anal. Now the background just changed colour as well. I've got cheap LEDs that I bought. Has it changed on camera? Yeah. You're not seeing the orange. I tend to have it on orange because it looks quite nice as the lights are dimming and coming on. And I always have that switched on. I don't ever switch that off, to be fair. And the embers have grown nicely. And what I'll do just before it gets a little bit too full, do a bit of a close up on some of the plants that's in there. Bear with me. There's two twigs on the branches. There's one more in here somewhere. As you can see there's plenty of places for them to hide. There's a bulb in there. I think that's a tiger lotus. Something in my eye. How does that happen when you've got specs on? They're dead awkward when they swim. These are ready for some food, these are. Yeah, so in this aquarium I glued it. I have used a bit of cotton previously. It's one of them ones. I mean, it can die off at the bottom using the glue a bit faster than what it grabs onto the hardscape on its own. But I think using CO2 in this aquarium, it was always going to grab onto the hardscape before the glue damaged it too much. I've just used a little bit of glue on that moss there. I knocked it off the wood. And in the paludariums, you've probably seen videos online. I've mushed it up and mixed it into a cup of water and flicked it onto my hardscape. And then it takes really well where it wants to take. And it's quite a nice method if you can do a bit of I suppose that method would be really good if you could paint it onto your hardscape and do the dry start method. It might be a video that I do actually. I might do that. And I've just told everybody else about doing it. But I might do that, do a bit of hardscape that I'm going to be having a shrimp tank with, and paint the moss on and let it do a dry start and see how that develops, and flood it once it's grabbed hold. Sounds like an idea. Nice simple idea as well to get content out there. I'm still looking for the third twig. I don't know if you can still see the two on them branches in the pathway. One's just moved, the other one's just to the left of it and above, as you'd see it on the camera. Maybe. Let's see. not quite, you know, you can just see it poking out maybe halfway down the body of the bottom one. Just moved, actually, calling me a liar. Move it back a bit because I'm going to be starting to mess with the filtration system shortly. I might have to put the kettle on as well, because there's only about a bucketful left to go in. Hey, and a bit of a plug as well. Go and make myself a coffee. In my warm t-shirt. And everybody's thinking, what? Yeah. Me or the actual mug? They are, what were they? £9.95. I think so, but then that's in the it's up to other people to make their mind up, isn't it? The t-shirts are £19.95. And there's two designs. It's either the big logo with the purple and green on the front like that, because I look really good doing that. And then I've got a hoodie, but there's t-shirts with just the green logo as well. And what's good about them hoodies is it's got a pocket inside the pocket for your mobile phone, so it don't fall out. They're even better. So I've just put on the video on the TV, and you can actually see more than what I thought you could see, because it looks really dark on the camera, but on the TV it looks a lot brighter, which is good. So on the right hand side, mounted to the cabinet, that's the Aquascape UV sterilizer with a spare bulb on top. Now I've got my nets, food scattered across the bottom, a shot glass that I defrost the frozen food in, the liquids that I use to the left, and then I think it's the Aquascape Biomaster 450, the Aquascape Biomaster Thermo 650 or something like that, and then just behind to the left of the 850 or 650, whatever it is the CO2 bottle and solenoid unit. Sounds good to me. Cheers, buddy. Yeah, I mean, with the pricing, I'm starting out, aren't I? And I didn't want to be buying stuff that I can't really shift, because it's a big outlay. Somebody who's only doing it as a hobby. So this is where I'm going to start going a little bit quiet because I've got to try and gauge when to switch the pump off, run to it, and hope that I don't flood everywhere. But what I can do now is switch the filtration systems back on. So what I do, I put the power back on first on everything, and then I just rotate the inlets and outlets lock of the filters. And there's always, this one's always got air in it once I've done it. The other one don't. I know I've created a little bit of an air gap, but I mean, this is the one that I'm running the CO2 in as well. I don't know if that has got something to do with it. Hello, Nessie. You come to say hello to everybody. Hey, this is the pup. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, you just knocked everything off. You can get down. And we've got Mum and Dad here as well. Now, she nearly distracted me to the point where it's going to overflow. So I'm just going to go and switch that off. And all it is a case of doing now is coiling the hose up, emptying the bucket of what water is left in there, and just putting things away, which most people argue I'm not very good at. You see, I put things away where I know we're going to be, which is out. As most women will probably say, like most men. Yeah, I'll let you out in a minute, darling. Give me a minute. 2 minutes. Let me just sort this out. If everyone just bears with me, I will get back to you and have a bit more of a chat and go from close-ups of the aquarium. Now it's full and up and running. I've got that put away. I'll leave. Oh. Go on then. We'll do your way. Good girl. She couldn't wait. So she's already done it. So mop bucket out. That's my fault. I should have let her out when she first came in, because that's why she burst into the room. Now, you can't shout at the dog for doing that. It's the owner's fault. Not paying attention. You going out, Trix? Good girl. All my fault. That's that done. That's that marked. Yeah, I've not touched my tool bag properly since I got back from the show. You ought to see the state of it. Everything's just been dumped in. So, yeah, I'll deal with that. I'm off all weekend, so I can deal with that. Right, so that's them out of the way. I'll leave the doors open for the time being. Oh, something else I did, which people say, oh, what's special about that? But, you know, instead of buying a holder, I just cut some pipe that I'd got left over from the filtration system, cut a little tab on it, and your tools fit in nicely. What I did do, because I found that the Aquascape filters are a little bit noisy, hum a little bit. Inside the cabinet, I just put a few soundproofing tiles in. And that seems to reduce the noise a little bit. And then that's what I've screwed into for my tools. Just there. Next door, that'd be suicide for me, I think. I'd be there all the time. Don't know about anybody else. Get me extension. Drop that in there. And what should I give them? Flake, or I'll put a glass grazer, Blue Wave Aquatics, glass grazer. It sticks to the front of the glass and it allows you to see all the fish. I'll chuck a couple of wafers in as well, again from Blue Wave Aquatics. The shrimp and the cories and, well, all the fish basically, they all enjoy it, but I should put some little bits in as well for the shrimp. And then I should drop this in just about there and straight on it. Look, I'll get close up of that for you. Just get the legs up properly and then zoom in. And there's the Epistogramma agassizi male, straight in for it. We get frozen food regular as well, and some of the male threadfin rainbows have come into view as well. They're the ones with the longer, darker dorsal and anal fins. The pygmies don't tend to come up to the tablet very often. What they'll do, as the embers and the episto break bits off, they'll catch the bits that the embers aren't getting, and they'll go and find them wafers that I've chucked in as well. I'm just going to shout the bucks back in. Come on. Nessie, come on. Nessie.
Are they in?
No, she's gone. Two minutes, everybody. Come on. Come on. Yes. 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 Come on. Nessie, come on. Come on. In. 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 You bugger. Come on. One of the fence panels has got a hole in. I've tried blocking it off, but she keeps managed to get through to next door. They don't mind, but it's one of them ones where it's a pain in the backside. Come on, Trix. I could eat fish and chips, but we've just had pasta bolognese. Is my sound still connected? Because I've obviously been down bottom of the garden. Ah, yeah. Yeah, you can then. Obviously the mail's had enough. What I tend to do now is just give the glass a bit of a wipe with some kitchen roll. Because last night, usually when I've not got work the following morning, I'll just move that back so I can wipe the glass. There's a kitchen roll there, Pa.
Yeah.
I just use two sheets. One sheet might be plenty, but two sheets. Just dampen a section of it. Wet the front all over and turn it over. And that gets rid of all the dried watermarks that's on there from the week of no maintenance. That's that done. No need for products. A bit of water. Some elbow grease. And that'll be fine. So, that flour, how it floats to the top. Hopefully, you can see that now. Try and get in front of the light. Where it's really pink. I've never had one flour before like that. That's good. And I'll let you enjoy your chips with some fish. He's back. She don't tend to come and eat off the tablet. She stays away from it. Having said that, I've only seen her pop her head out a couple of times today in the same area. So there's a possibility that they may have young. And it would be the first batch, so I wouldn't expect anything. She's here, I can see her. But I can't see anything else, just her. And she's disappeared back into the plants. That bigger bit of wood that comes out from the right there towards the bottom, it has got a hole going through it. So I would imagine that's where she'll be making her den. So I'm going to do another 10 minutes and then call it quits. Finish at 9 o'clock. That's a 2-hour live then. So if anybody's got any more questions, please jump up in the comments. I'll do what I can to answer them before I leave. And I'll just give you a different view of the aquarium. What I'm thinking of doing as well is setting up my laptop and my desk, so I've got the fish tank behind me, and doing a bit of a host live. Would anybody be interested in that? That's good then. What are the height buttons? I don't know. Where am I? Hello, Nessie. Yeah, that's why it's not charging. All that. That's no good, is it? So what's this hype thing? What do you press? So I don't know. So again, there's going to be more videos, more content in the coming weeks. I'm hopefully going to get at least one video out towards the end of the week. Hopefully Thursday, but more than likely Friday due to work. So it'll either be between 3 and 5 Thursday or Friday that that's released. It's all good. So 5 minutes. And people are shooting off now. I don't know exactly who's watching. Yeah, mate. I think the Mansfield Aquatics, your love for the marine, definitely. Wharf, your love just because of the oddballs and the amount of aquariums that they've got. And then Pro Shrimp, if it's a weekday, then I'll be able to show you. But if not, it'll be that they're only open midweek to foot traffic. So yeah, we'll have to try and sort something out midweek so we can pop round all three. So I'm usually off Monday, Tuesdays, Friday, Saturday, Sundays, or just Wednesday, Thursday on alternate weeks. So there's always potential there because there are hours that you work as well. Yeah, good to see everybody, and hopefully we'll see you all on the next live. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and enjoy your escape. Enjoy the escaping. Take care. Bye bye.